AI Entertainment System Terms and Agreements. You have 17 more pages left to go. This entertainment package is based on your biological algorithms along with your user history, including non-binary pronouns. What was the name of the dog in the Thin Man series? Descendants of sub-Mayan tribe leaders who have played for the Seattle Seahawks. Standard width of seats on Bay Area Rapid Transit. Why do men fall asleep after sex? Is obsession about weight a universal with all females across cultures? Pictures of baby chinchillas. Is pineapple on pizza a sign of mental imbalance? Entertainment algorithm complete. Program initializing.
I can bring home the bacon.
And I fry it up in a pan.
I never let you forget you're a man. 'Cause I'm a woman. W-O-M-A-N.
I always do all the dishes.
And I do all the laundry.
I stain mark skids in your boxes for you.
I'm demure and I'm passive.
I pick up kids from school every day.
I do emotional labor for two. 'Cause I'm a woman. W-O-M-A-N.
Go to work. Not tell everyone what to do because they'll be called bossy. Come home, husband asks you for food. Kids running around everywhere, school schedules, etc., etc. Life is messy.
Life is indeed messy, and you've had one hell of a week, dear. Your corporation went bankrupt. Your husband's been indicted. Your daughter's gone into rehab, and your son has joined a cult. Oh, did we mention that your dog killed an endangered spotted owl in the park? And to top it all off, you tripped and spilled pumpkin spice latte all over your cat. Lucky for you, your hair still looks perfect. That's because you use Atomic Gold. Atomic Gold is enriched with the same Kevlar polymers used in bulletproof vests. So anything short of an Armageddon is not going to bother it. Let's face it, life may be chaotic, but your hair doesn't have to be.
Thank you, Atomic Gold.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tom Willikers. I am the CEO of Gillette, and I am here to tell everybody about the newest advances that we've made in our razor technologies in order to expand our outreach across the aisle, but amongst all genders. We have decided to give you the new Schick X. The new Schick X is exactly the same as previous razors, except it's for a woman, but it's priced like a man's razor. As you can see, it is still absolutely as effective as always, but you get to pay $5 less. But let's not take it from me. Let's take it from some live testimony. Margaret Simmons, how did it feel paying less for razors?
Oh, with the money I spent paying less on razors, I can now afford to put my oldest child through college. And my legs are sheer and smooth like a baby's bottom.
Absolutely. So the testimony speaks for itself. Pay less for razors, regardless of what genitalia you were born with. That's so true.
Men, are you so weighted down by your Adonis-like frame that you're gonna topple over at any second? Did you hit the gym too hard for your pecs, biceps, traps, lats, all of those things that require this machine?
Yeah?
Don't walk around with chicken legs, guys. Here, new inflatable leg muscles. You can see a leg day. Just inflate and go out into public and show off that new bod.
I feel like my center of gravity has been restored.
Another happy customer in balance.
Hello, I am Dr. James Hoffman, and I am here to introduce a new prescription that I feel is something that would be revolutionary in helping bridge the misunderstandings that happen between genders. We have all heard of Viagra, but I have personally thought, why are men only able to enjoy the thrill of having an 8-hour boner? And so, through my years of brand research and my pocket pills, I have now created Viagra. Viagra is a mutagen that allows anybody to grow a penis and have an erection that lasts up to 8 hours. But again, don't take it from me, take it from our live testimony.
I was just walking down the street and someone shoved a pill down my throat. Now I have an embarrassing erection. But it's a novel feeling, so I don't mind, I guess.
Smiles all around, and don't just take it from them, take it from this testimony.
I used my 8-hour erection to get a higher paying job.
And you're at now with the latest prescription of Viagra, we will also include the new Gillette X razors to go along with it. Pfizer, reaching across the aisle.
Let's face it, being non-binary can be a lot of work. All that running around to each extreme of the spectrum, trying to be all things to all people, explaining who you are, and don't forget the constant correcting, and even more correcting of pronouns. Carbon-based beans get awfully dehydrated. Luckily for them, there's new gender fluid. Gender fluid is a refreshing drink enriched with both testosterone and estrogen, so you can be strong and nurturing. Society takes a lot out of you. Gender fluid puts it back in so you can be your more complete non-binary self.
Thank you, gender fluid.
Speaking of beverages, does anyone out there have a Starbucks name? Do they mess up your name all the time?
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
a special name? Just this guy, alright. When I would go into Starbucks in the past, I would order my drink, and I would say Abel, which is my name, and they would repeat back something that sounded like Abel. But then when my drink was called, I'd get Amy, Allison, Mabel, Ashley, and if I didn't come get my drink right away, they'd start yelling at me, saying,
Ashley? Ashley? Ashley?
thank you. Guess I'm Ashley today. But it seemed like a harmless 30-second interaction. You walk up, you order your drink, you give your name, you go wait for your coffee. But I was always on edge, like, what's my name today? Am I gonna get it even close to right? So after that, because I wanted to be perceived as male, I tried some generic male names. I tried Gabe, they wrote Dave. I tried Mark, they wrote Parker. And once I started with passing and I transitioned and my voice started dropping and all that, they get my name right about 80% of the time. I'll take it. The other day I got Abel, like the Tower of Babel. I decided I'm gonna start playing a game of telephone with them. I'm gonna take the names that they said fucking up, and we're gonna do a back and forth. So I say Mark, they said Parker. I say Parker, they'll probably say Parka. I say Parka, they'll say Paprika. I give up.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Better Understanding. I'm Sean Attenborough, I'm your host for today. And today, we have two speakers here that are going to shed light on something that I myself, as a cisgendered male, just can't relate to. Having pockets. I have pockets. They usually don't. And we're going to get to the bottom of this immediately. Please introduce yourself to the audience and explain your stance on pockets.
I'm Jane Goody Goodman. I am an anti-pocketitioner. In our religion, we have a firm belief that women shall not have pockets. In fact, women's clothing has evolved throughout the years to make pockets redundant. Because we have natural pockets. Such as...
What are you talking about? Oh my goodness, that's a Fanta!
No need for a pocket.
And it's still cold. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'm sorry, but before we eat up our time, yes.
I am Dr. Natalia von Innsbruck from the Goethe Institute. Yes, I'm an evolutionary zoologist. I have been exploring and researching the divergence between primates and marsupials early on in mammalian development. With the marsupials, it became the only females with built-in pockets, and while the primates had to manufacture pockets of their own.
Fascinating, absolutely fascinating here. In order for me to better understand, let me make sure I have this correct. So you're saying that we don't need to add more pockets to your attire, that this is something that women have evolutionarily brought about no longer needing. Is that correct?
We think it is more a flaw that evolution needs to re-correct. That's why we are striving to genetically engineer the natural pockets into the female body.
Yeah, that doesn't work for me.
Fraud.
I'm learning right now. Yeah, okay, well, in the end then, we are on the right path. Apparently, that's what I'm taking out of all this. But do you have any final words, critiques perhaps, to help shed on all other men of what we should think about when it comes to women's clothing?
Well,
And the supposed, what we view as deficiencies, which what you view as a natural asset.
I think what needs to happen, what would be most beneficial, is if women did not have the burden of carrying so many things, both physically and mentally. If men would share the burden, then such superfluous things as additional compartments on clothing would not be necessary.
Are you carrying something as well?
I'm carrying a lot of history.
I'm ready for final words from you, our religiously inclined anti-pocketeer. And you want a sandwich to go with this too?
Sure. Here.
Pimento loaf.
For my last words, we are not against the evolutionary natural pockets. We are just against the ones that are artificially sewn into clothing. So when evolution corrects itself and women have non-bra pockets, we're not going to be against that.
Okay. Okay.
I concur. Do you have a breath mint? Thank you.
Anyone else need something?
Last time.
You have to throw that. Thank you very much for joining us on our episode of Better Understanding with Sean Attenborough. I guess the one thing that all us men have to understand, though we tried to deprive women of pockets, they have found a way to make do. and maybe outdoing us at our own game.
Shame on you. Shame on you for making faces at your husband. It makes you look ugly. No man would want you with that face. Listen to him. Tell him that he is right. He has every right to be angry. It is your job to be the peacemaker. Your husband worked so hard to feed you, to keep you safe. He brings home the bacon. All he asks for is obedience. You're being ungrateful when you make faces. What a shame for women to seek supremacy. Just as your body is weak, so should be your will. You control the house. He controls everything else. Embrace your weakness and obey your husband. Coming to theaters this December, Keanu Reeves is back. As you've never seen him before. He's in the Old West, and he's laying down the law.
Oh, man.
Not with guns.
What?
Not with arrows.
Okay.
Not with knives.
Okay.
Not even with his fists.
Okay. Dude, man.
Keanu
come on.
Reeves is settling the Old West with empathy.
Whoa, like, stop right there, because you're conflicted and I feel it.
How do you know?
I could just sense it by not thinking about myself before I do it.
So you're telling me you can think about someone other than yourself?
Absolutely, partner. I came to this dusty Odom town to teach everybody to be excellent to each other.
This December, Keanu Reeves is Zen Sheriff.
You need to believe in yourself. Alright, my last teacher told me to let go and believe and take a leap off a building.
I'm conflicted.
Okay, I've clearly confused you. I'm sorry.
I have two options.
But yeah.
I can either hold my fork with my left hand and my knife with my right hand, or I can hold my fork with my right hand and my knife with my left hand. And while doing that, I could either eat steak or chicken mignon.
You see now that you have options. Your life is not constrained to one path, man.
Don't miss Keanu Reeves in Zen Sheriff this December.
Believe in yourself.
Rated W for whoa.
Whoa!
Wow, being a business person is exhausting. Back in my old town because I had a meltdown at work. Thank God everything's the same.
I work as a waitress in a small town that I've been trying to live all my life, all my long life of 20-something years. And I just can't find a way. I just keep wishing a Prince Charming would come sweep me off my feet, take me away.
Cynthia? I saw you talking to the back room and I was confused. Do you work here?
I do. I love you. Are you one of our regular customers? Oh my God, I'm supposed to know all of them by name, but I don't know what
Cynthia, it's okay. We went to middle school together. My name is Brad.
Brad, you used to pick your nose.
Okay, yes, that was 20 years ago. I don't do that anymore.
As I live and breathe, is that you, Brad Abernathy?
Hi, Abby. So good to see you.
The high-priced New York corporate attorney?
That's me.
You don't still pick your nose the way you did me.
Oh my God. Is that the only thing anybody remembers about me here?
Well, I see you've taken a liking to my rural working-class cousin.
Cynthia's pretty great.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Cynthia, do you go on break anytime soon? Do you want to?
In 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Hello. TMZ? A scoop. High-priced New York corporate attorney Brad Abernathy has 3 illegitimate children by 3 different women in 3 different states. And he was a constant nose picker in 8th grade. Oh, you look like you guys are getting on so splendidly. Oh, you know, I hope you don't mind if I just turn on the TV. TMZ is on. Oh,
Is that true?
Brad, I never would have guessed.
I want to go home now. Yes, it is true. What did you do? I know it was you.
Me?
Looking all smug.
Have to do something, get some enjoyment out of this podunk town. It's not easy being a librarian around such ignorant people.
Abby, I'm sorry you're bored, but I came here to get away from all of that.
It's okay.
I don't want to hug you, but you look very sad.
My break is over. Just catching up based on my time anyway.
Damn it, I spent half of it comforting someone I didn't want to. Look, that sounded really mean, but that was also really mean.
You're right. Just a sweet person.
Abby, you hobbies?
No. And on top of anything else, they want to put me in jail for sending a bad book to a group of Cub Scouts. It was a story of old. And one of them looked 16, he had a mustache.
I guess I can see how I make that mistake. Look, I'm a lawyer in the life that I just left. If you convince TMZ to drop this, I'll talk to some people and get you out of this.
Would you please? I'd do anything.
Take a knitting, go for walks, something.
Okay, I promise. I just want to express my gratitude to my attorney, who is the champion of the First Amendment and a champion of nasal hygiene. He carries 2 handkerchiefs in case somebody else needs one too, like me.
Quit it, thank you, great. All right. Cynthia.
I came here and said my shift ended and that looked amazing.
I am amazing.
I think I am in love with you and the life you lead in a big city. Will you take me away?
There's a plane leaving now. Let's go.
But one of my new hobbies was to be getting myself ordained as a minister so I can marry the 2 of you. By the power invested in me, as a newly ordained online ministry, I now pronounce you life partners. Oh.
We just re-met. I'm gonna.
You may go catch a plane.
I have a baby face. I'm 36. But I make Lyft drivers nervous. Apparently you have to be 18 or over to get into a Lyft. I was standing outside a bar after a stand-up comedy open mic, and I had called a Lyft, and I saw the car coming, and it came in front of the club, almost stopped, and then zoomed away around the block. And I was like, wait a minute. It came back around, did the same thing, went around the block. This time I'm like, okay, the license plate matches, that's my car. So it came around again, and I was flying them down wildly, and finally, the guy stops. And I get in, and he turns around and he says, I didn't pick you up because you look like young boy from neighborhood. I was like, alright, yeah, you got the address. You'd think that would be the end of it, but he kept going. He's like, you look so young. I'm like, You'll love it when you're older. How much older? Even as I was getting out of the car, he had to have one last word. It's like, even voice sounds like young boy. So I get out and I'm like, thanks, 5 stars, okay, bye, never again. I'll probably look like young boy until I'm 50. But during the transition period, I'm realizing that people are going to see me differently, not only as a masculine person, but also as a white man. Yay! The most progressive identity in our society. Woo! Can't wait to try that one on. So now I'm hyper vigilant. I'm trying my best to just not take up too much space, not interrupt, talk over, or mansplain to anybody, check my white privilege. And I feel like I've doubled, tripled, quadrupled down. Like, oh no, people see what they see, and I can't do anything about that. But I didn't know I was making additional decisions when I decided to make the personal decision to transition. That's a lot of shooting words. Bye.
Get around, get around, get around. Yes, my lovely granddaughters. I'm here to have to determine which of you is going to get my inheritance when I die. Now, this has been something that I've been deciding on for quite some time, but I have yet to come to a decision. So I'm going to leave it up to each one of you and tell me where your life is going, what you've done with yourselves, and how you fulfilled the way I envisioned how you lived out your life.
Grandma, I haven't done anything, but that means that I've just been sitting on my potential for years. So I could go places, you never know.
That's very clever. You remind me of your grandfather. Well,
I've been working to prove myself as a worthy heiress to the family fortune, and so I have been digging wells and for orphans, and I have been feeding endangered owls,
You
and
told me you were
feeding
the-
endangered owls to thirsty orphans.
Oh my goodness. Oh my gracious. Oh my peaches. Jennifer.
Grandma,
Yeah.
we had a spare for your signature on it.
Yeah.
I made it.
Yes, you did.
And when you die, I'm just going to rewrite my will and leave everything to myself.
Yeah.
So, why not just spare me the effort and just leave everything to me legitimately?
Wait a second.
Spoken like a woman from my generation.
Let me see that.
What the hell is going on?
You did that when you were in 4th grade. It's in crayon.
That's what got you off your butt.
Well, if this were an actual valid document, then yeah, you're right.
I mean, does any of you just do the things that people in my generation felt that women were supposed to do? Didn't you just cook and clean and make less money and then cook and clean some more?
I ordered my food online,
Oh,
but I ordered healthy foods.
I said cook, cook. Couldn't it be like one of them blue basket things? Oh,
How about it's free? What do you cook?
I changed the batteries in the remote for the Roomba.
that's fun. So I can stuff. As for you, lazy bottoms,
I made cookies once 12 years ago.
once 12 years ago. Oh, I remember 12
I
years
still
ago.
have them. I would eat it if I were you. Here's the thing.
Oh my goodness.
I would. Oh, okay.
It's even better without my teeth. Well,
Is the bribery working?
yes, it is actually. We go in the errand. As you can see. Stop with your forgeries!
I'm perfect for your signature, Grandma.
Later.
I can make as many as I want.
Just because they work at an office and they can print things doesn't give you more privilege than the rest of us.
That sounds like newspeak.
I'm going back to Eastern Europe. I can live better there.
Alright, so you okay with that, buddy? And you? What's that, you?
You're the bee's knees, Brandon.
That's called sucking up with glass like we used to do in my day. As for you.
You know I'll do it.
Oh, God. This,
You know.
this
Your
is-
other grandchildren don't stand a chance.
Alright, I'm gonna do something a little untraditional here. A long time ago when I had to inherit this estate from my daddy and his brother, they fought to the death. I want you two to do something. New age.
But that's
Oh,
Later.
No! They're right! It is more fun on the other side. Holy crap!
okay. No more fire. Everyone's gone. I guess all the money is mine.
If you must work, cooking, cleaning, serving, caring for people, playing support roles in offices and businesses, these are appropriate careers for you. Men will do these too. If they do, they will get paid more. You're weak, physically and emotionally. You'll find fulfillment in teaching young children, caring for the elderly, preparing food, styling hair, and making a home clean and orderly. Again, if a man commits to these careers, they will pay him more because he is an investment. But you, a woman, you are a risk, a liability. They can't trust you as much. Your kids get sick. You skip work. You have PMS and cry when they give you a performance review. You have menstrual cramps and can't focus on your work. You see, liability, risk, worthless. Your father, he hired a man and a woman for the same part-time job in his store. The man, he worked less hours because he was going to school at night, pursuing a degree, making an investment in himself. The woman, her excuse is that she had child and family obligations. If you're not going to make your career a priority, why should anyone else? Why?
Good evening. Name's Kurtz. Katie Kurtz. Troop 46, Girl Scouts of America. Retired. The year 1972. The year I turned 10. A big 1-0. Already I'd seen enough of my first decade to last me a lifetime. So I thought. As I was blowing out the candles on my cake, a voice at my party piped up and said, "Happy birthday, Katie. I hear 10 is the new 7. This was my old scout leader, Miss Kent, asking me if I want to come back for one last campaign. One final cookie drive. I downed the last of my strawberry Nestle's Quick, my Brady Bunch collector's mug, stared deeply into Greg's dreamy eyes, started hearing the drums again. The sales quota for the free trip to Disneyland was $500. 1 week to go before the deadline. Troop 46 was at 480. I took the last 20 boxes myself and assembled my team. Trina Harris, sea monkey. Attracted customers with a fishbowl of the aquatic pets advertised in the back of every comic book from Archie to the X-Men. Good for 8 to 10 boxes worth of sales. Judy Simmons, with her broken arm and a cast, was good for another 4 to 6 boxes. Then I had my headbutt. Susie Weatherly, whose cascade of golden blonde ringlets stood out in every class picture since preschool. Susie was pretty. Scary pretty. Parents in the 80s would later call milk carton pretty. Wow. At 0900 Saturday morning, Trina's dad was guiding the country squire station wagon low under the golden arches, past the fabric store and to the perimeter of the Safeway parking lot. We would go in the rest of the way on foot because the lot was crowded. Just the 4 of us with our supplies. 20 boxes of cookies, a folding card table provided by Judy's mom, Trina's bowl of sea monkeys. All the while, we were keeping a sharp eye out for the enemy. Charlie Dalrymple, nobody dared call her Charlotte except her parents, was the biggest girl in the 6th grade. And the meanest, too, after being held back 2 years. Banned from dodgeball after she broke Mike Perry's ribs. Charlie vented her aggressions by playing the bass drum in the school band. She sold candy to raise money for band uniforms. Charlie was always out there, watching, waiting. Now the morning had gone very smoothly. 16 boxes sold by 11:30. I was already dreaming about what I was going to say to Mickey and Minnie and which of the 7 dwarves I was going to be posing for pictures with. When the sound of a box of jumbo Snickers bars slamming down on the card table jolted me out of my dream. You and your cookies gotta move. Sure enough, it was Charlie. Trina and Susie just froze in terror, and Judy, poor Judy, just simply went AWOL. We never saw her again. I knew that I had to act fast or the day was lost. And I said, listen, Charlie, these cookies stay right where they are, or the entire membership of Troop 46 is going to be all over you in a swarm of green jumpers and knee socks. The air was deadly still. Charlie just stared at me, glared, and slowly walked away. 5 minutes later, that silence was shattered by the sound of a red playground ball shredding the air. Incoming! I grabbed Trina and Susie, and we all 3 hit the deck. Glass shattered, water splashed, cardboard boxes were ripped open as the card table took one for the team. Our dreams of Disneyland ended that day in an ungodly hail of peanut butter, chocolate chips, and brine shrimp. After the crumbs settled, I found Susie crying with coconut shrapnel in her ringlets. And Trina just sitting there in shock, staring at saltwater drenched thin mints and dead sea monkeys. The horror! The horror! I gathered my wounded sisters and pushed them 5 blocks to the ER in a Safeway shopping cart with a locked wheel. For my efforts, I was given the merit badge for first aid. No trip to the Magic Kingdom. I turned in my sash that day. Told Miss Kent I was through with cookie sales and through with the Scouts, and I was going to go live off the grid. But I made a vow that I would return one day to collect one final merit badge for vengeance. Charlie, if you're out there, I got a dodgeball with your name on it.
Yeah, Chad, yeah, Well, that's one way to describe her, I guess. Okay, hey, dude, how about we save it for Friday? Okay, yeah, you don't, no, yeah, that's funny. Let's save it for Friday, and we'll talk about your coworker later, okay? All right. Ring light set up. Log into the YouTube account. Hey, everyone out there in YouTube land, it's Straight Talker XYZ. Just before I go further in this video, make sure you click that subscribe button. Every click helps on my end. Just kind of talking a little candidly right here, just as a straight cisgendered male. I know I try to keep things fairly light on my channel and whatnot, but I just got some things I think I need to get off my chest a little bit. I guess all I'm just gonna say is this: all my other fellow straight cisgendered men out there, if you have an issue with people not fitting their traditional gender roles, if you have an issue with the way people go about the social construct of their gender, I'm beginning to get the feeling the problem isn't them, it's you. You're the ones making the big deal of it, and it's really not that big of a deal. These are just people. Everybody in life is trying to discover themselves, and the last thing they need is a bunch of us to be assholes about the whole thing. I mean, what's the fucking deal? I mean, really? Do you think that if you just tilt your wrist a certain angle or something, all of a sudden your Y chromosome is going to no longer be deformed in terms of X chromosome or something like that? I mean, what's the deal exactly? Do you think that dipping your toe in the edge of something feminine is going to suddenly make you, make your dick fall off or some shit like that? I don't get it. I don't get it one bit. We're supposed to be strong, right? That's what we're taught all the time when we grow up. We're supposed to be strong. Well, if we're so goddamn strong, why the hell is that going to undo us? I don't understand this. And you know what? Come and flog me. Leave shit in the comment section for all I care about. I don't care. This isn't supposed to be funny. This is just me getting this off my chest. And on that note, if you like what I had to say, please click the like button. And if you disliked it, make sure you smash that dislike button twice. Thank you very much.
Keep your knees together. Your legs have one job. To hide your underwear. Use your feet. Your feet can be flat on the ground. You can cross them at the ankles. You can cross your ankles in the center or off to the side. No matter what you do, keep your feet touching each other. Your knees too. Only men can spread their legs. Keep your hands where one can see them, not in your pockets. In your lap is fine. Don't cross your arms. It's off-putting. Don't cross your legs. It's not modest. If you must cross your legs, start with crossing one calf in front of the other and slowly slide the whole leg. Do not spread your legs.
Oh my God, you guys, the gender binary is exhausting. And it starts before we even enter the world. Once a few months has passed with a pregnancy, the doctor declares the baby male or female based on what, you guys?
Genitals!
Genitals! Why are we so obsessed with people's genitalia? If you're decided to be male, it's assumed that you're going to be a man, that you're probably going to be a straight man, married, children, etc. All before you can even speak for yourself. But this thing with genitalia, I mean, people have started forest fires over it. Gender reveal parties. Our baby's genitalia is this. I don't think we're hardwired in very many ways. I think it's mostly socialization, and we're bombarded with the media, with our parents saying it to us, our peers reinforcing it, and eventually you internalize it, and then you're policing yourself. And it's all just a performance. It's all just to keep us in these two boxes, the rigidity, all the things, all the parts we need to play to be acceptably male or female. But the gender binary wasn't always a part of our culture. When Europeans came to all these different countries and colonized them, they brought with them the gender binary. And they called these gender expressions they weren't familiar with perverse, abominable, disgusting, and sick. But a lot of these societies had at least 3, if not 8 or more gender expressions. Transgender people were elevated in society. They were seen even as shamans or priests because they were closer to the divine. Now we've got these two boxes. And I think gender should be fluid. I think people should be able to decide for themselves, and if we were given the room to express, the room to explore, I wonder how many people would realize that they're uncomfortable in these parameters. So I'm giving you an assignment, a gender assignment. Go out and ask 6 people who identify as women and 6 people who identify as men what makes a man and what makes a woman a woman, and I guarantee you're going to get 12 different answers. But trans people can't be non-binary.
A real man doesn't start a fight, he damn sure finishes it.
A woman being authoritative at work is always bossy, and men doing the same is authoritative.
If you're a real man and you step in dog poo, you check your shoes like this, not like that.
If you're a woman and you're aggressive and you're in power, you're cold, you're a bitch.
Any woman who wants to play football is suspect, as is any man who doesn't.
If a woman is walking on the street alone at night, she's asking for it.
You're a real man. You don't drink fruit drinks. You drink straight lager, right out of the bottle like so.
A man's emotions can be distilled down to love and hate. There's nothing in between. Stuff it down.
Your life is determined at conception and remains that way until death. We will be back Saturday at 6:30, so tell your friends.
Thank you so much, everybody.